here from the Conscious Wealth Institute, and today we're going to do some tapping about your feelings around money, and more precisely I want you to think about those feelings of when you go to pick up the mail, or when you go to pay for your groceries, or when you go to pay for some other purchase. Maybe a bill has come in, and if you have that sense of dread every time you go to the post box because you're anticipating another bill, or the credit card bill, or the telephone bill, or you've got bills stacked up on your desk, and every time you look at them you just have that sinking feeling. And it's more than just anxiety. It's a feeling of dread. Or when you go to pay for the groceries and you hand over your card and you're just thinking, please God, let there be enough money in the account to cover the groceries today. You know how I know? Because I have been there. It is the most awful, disempowering feeling, and it plagues you so much of the day. And I've done several videos on EFT around anxiety and fear around money. And the reason that I do so many of them is because it is the most disempowering feeling, emotion that is just going to continue to create a lack of money in your life. Unfortunately, fear is a very, very powerful creative force. And the more you feel fear or anxiety or even dread around money, the more it's just going to create a lack of money in your life. And this is where the whole saying, be, do, have, we have turned that around into, I will be happy when I have the money to be able to do the things that I can do. We've got it all backwards. It's a case of being in the emotional state of freedom, happiness, and joy that will create the life that we truly want. And I can personally vouch for this. So the fact of the matter is that those feelings of dread, fear, and anxiety are not going to help your financial situation. They're actually going to hurt it, and they're going to just keep perpetuating your current situation. So imagine, in spite of your current situation, if you could have an emotion of peace, of joy, of being able to release those feelings of fear, because the feelings aren't going to change anything. Does that make sense? Those negative feelings are not going to change your situation. But being able to be at peace with it will help you to change your situation. Being able to have feelings of joy and peace no matter what will actually turn the situation around, because the universe gets the vibration of happiness, joy, peace, gratitude, and it sends you all the stuff that it knows will create more of that for you, because it simply matches your vibration. So it knows what's going to help you create more of that, and will send you the things that will help to create more of that in your life. So I hope all that makes sense. But what we're going to do today is the EFT to be able to help you to release those feelings. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that tomorrow you're going to feel a deep sense of peace, joy, and happiness when another bill comes in to add to the pile that might already be sitting there for you. But over time, if you continue to work with these tools, this is the key. Continuing to work with these tools to make the transition. I am living embodiment of this fact. My transition didn't happen overnight. It took consistent effort to using these tools, but it did happen, and it was worth it. So I want you to think about the feeling that you feel when you go to the post box, or when you go to hand over your card to pay for the groceries, or if there's some other situation that you know brings that feeling of dread. And look, if it's not around money, if you have a feeling of dread around somebody or something else in your life, then focus on that and shift the EFT that we're using to clear your feelings around that situation. Does that make sense? What I want you to do now is rate that feeling on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being that it doesn't even rate for you, it doesn't even hit the radar, and 10 being that it's really, really the most intense it could possibly be. Okay, now start by tapping on the karate chop point. Even though I have this feeling of dread, I deeply and completely love and accept how I feel. Even though every time I think of this situation, I feel so powerless, I choose to love and accept all of me. Even though I have this deep sense of fear and anxiety, every time I look at this situation, and I feel it many times during the day, I choose to love and accept who I am and how I feel right now. Just thinking about it brings up this feeling of dread. Each time I go to the postbox, every time I go to pay for the groceries, I'm always waiting for another catastrophe. And it feels so powerless. This deep sense of dread. Just like I'm in this vicious cycle. And it's never going to end. Just one thing after another. It feels like I'm going deeper and deeper into this hole. I have this deep sense of fear. I feel this awful sense of powerlessness. And I just don't know how to change the situation. I would love to release these feelings of dread. Every time I think of this situation, I just feel my stomach drop and my heart sinks because I feel so powerless. Okay, take a breath and release it. Okay, I want you to think about the situation again on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being that it doesn't even rate for you anymore, 10 being the most intense it could be. And hopefully that rating's come down a little bit, so long as it's shifted. If it hasn't shifted, then you need to find the underlying core or emotion. Sometimes the rating might go up a bit. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It means that just because you're focusing on it, you may have maybe missed the rating a little bit in the beginning and it was actually more intense than you thought. But so long as it's shifting, just keep working on it. So keep doing the tapping, keep focusing on that particular situation. What brings up those feelings for you? What specifically triggers those emotions to be able to bring it down? Now, if you can track back when those emotions first started for you, or if you can track back maybe something to your family history when you were a child, maybe there was a sense of dread amongst your family around money or whatever the situation is, just tap on that. Tap on your earliest memories around whatever you're thinking about, and because that's the trigger for you. And that's what implanted it there in the first place. So tap on that and just keep tapping until you bring the rating down to a 2 or below before you move on to the positive tapping round that we're going to do now. So, now we're going to transmute, transform, and transcend that feeling of dread and powerlessness. How cool is that? So start by tapping on the karate chop point. Even though I still feel some powerlessness around this situation, I choose to transmute, transform, and transcend all of those feelings now. Even though I still feel a sense of dread around this situation, I now choose to transmute, transform, and transcend all negative emotions and belief systems about this situation. Even though I still feel this sinking heart about this situation, I am ready to release all negative belief systems and fears right now and replace them with peace, joy, and happiness. Okay, tapping through the points. I choose to transmute, transform, and transcend all negative belief systems about this situation. I choose to transmute, transform, and transcend all my fears about this right now. I choose to feel joyful and peaceful no matter what. I choose to transmute, transform, and transcend all feelings of powerlessness about this situation now. I choose to transmute, transform, and transcend all fears and negative belief systems about this event now. I choose to feel peaceful, joyful, and happy no matter what. I choose to feel free. I choose to know that I'm okay. I choose to feel calm and peaceful no matter what. I choose to feel gratitude for all the blessings in my life. And I choose to trust and have faith that everything is going to be okay. Okay, take a breath and release it. Okay, now go back and rate that statement again about, well, not the statement, but the feeling, those feelings about that situation. And it will have come down even further. Now, there was a lot in that tapping. There's a lot for you to be able to expand on. Having trust and faith, feeling peace, joy, and happiness no matter what. Because those fears that you have, as I said, are not going to help the situation. But the more you feel at peace and at ease and calm, the more inspiration you're going to have. The more good things will start flowing into your life. The more gratitude you have, the more things you will have to be grateful for. Misery loves company. If you focus on the things that are creating drama in your life, then you're just going to have more drama and more things to be unhappy about. So please, I implore you to use this tapping on a regular basis, or any other tapping that I have out there for you. There are so many resources available for you to be able to change your life. The key is to work toward it every single day, and you will see massive transformation. Maybe not in the immediate short term, but you will see subtle changes initially, then you'll see miracles happening, and you will see massive transformation over a relatively short period of time. Release Release your expectation that it has to happen instantly. That is just going to destroy all your results. But notice subtle changes and trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, and that you are transforming your life in very powerful and positive ways, because you are. So that's my tapping for you for today. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care and bye for now.